So I'm going to ream that out. That was a bit of a pain. I say it's not, you know, there's, if you don't mind doing all this, then you're saving yourself money. But I must say that DJX boxes, if you don't mind paying the extra 15 quid, because they're all pre-assembled and presumably tested, at least I've never had any problems with them. And it does save all this palaver. Oh, no. We'll get there in the end. There, that's it. That's okay. That's fine. Just make sure it's square stuff. Yep. Prepare motor mount. Is absolutely true. Right, so the first stage is, can I remember? Yeah, it makes a lot of difference. God, I'm going to have to edit this video somehow. Ah. Drawing out the wall. Right, let's try putting a spacer in first. Okay, and that wants to go. Oh, I've got to put in the wrong box. Hang on. That's what it is. That was close. There's one in. One in. The next one is I'm using, so that can articulate, which is the beauty of this. Goes like so. Boss like that. Like that. I know I want this vertical, because if you remember we did that when we tried that last. I'm just going to tack this up. So you don't want this wobbling about. Well, I don't think you do. Certainly the instructions advise tacking it up. Doesn't need to be a lot, just enough to hold it. Without getting too much heat in it, or else the gears will melt. There, that's done it. That's locked up there solid. They're running nice and freely. So I want a bit of Loctite on those two shafts. Will do. Doesn't have to be a lot. Motor should be alright. Should be solid now, and here's a fiddly old thing to do. Let's get these screws in. I use a bit of blue tack, but others we've got different ideas. And by the way, I forget whoever it was, whoever mentioned that mini sand blaster. Thanks for that, and thanks for the link. I think I'm going to try one of those. They look quite nifty. Try and screw the motor in. Hopeless, as usual. Right. There's not really much else going to be a lot else to show you. The body's just a simple soldering job now. The boiler's rolled, the cab's done. I'll probably show you the how I do the valve gear, if that's of interest, and that's ready. But I won't be showing you how I paint, because I freely admit I can't paint. And that's where I fall down every time. I was speaking to a chap called Bob Willis, who happens to be on the forum sometimes, and he mentioned, I've read about it before, that there's these Great Missenden modelling weekends, and I think they do I believe they do a painting weekend, and if they do, I think I'm going to try one of those, because I just can't seem to paint neatly, and often find that, you know, I'm let down by it. I mean, a perfectly decent locomotive that ends up with a second-rate paint job. Oh, that's a funny old thing. Right. Screws don't fit the holes. Right, not sure he's in the right place with. Oh, one way to find out. Power. Use a battery charger, of course, if you're desperate. I haven't got a spare. Oop. Oop. Yeah, that's okay. So I'll probably give that an hour just to make sure it's all bedded in nicely. See you soon.